Black and White Network fans, we are back with another video. We're going to be talking about Bill Nye here in this video. And I really don't want to come down too hard on Bill Nye for the tweet that he put out, because yesterday, was Juneteenth and also Father's Day. Now, I believe I've actually mentioned this in the past. When I was growing up as a kid, Juneteenth was not a thing. And I actually grew up close to Galveston, where Juneteenth was being celebrated, because that was the day that the Union came to Galveston Island and told the slaves, hey, guess what? You're free. But there's been a lot of misconceptions about Juneteenth. And of course, as you guys know, last year, it was made an official holiday. And when I found out about it, I was like, man, this isn't really the correct date. We should actually be celebrating the end of slavery, because it did not end slavery. It absolutely did not. Now, for the uneducated people out there, let me do a little bit of education here, okay? Abraham Lincoln, 1863, comes out with the Emancipation Proclamation. And a lot of people think that, oh, that ended slavery. No, it did not. It ended slavery in the states that actually rebelled against the Union. And if you did not rebel against the Union, you got to keep your slaves, i.e. Kentucky and Delaware. They were a part of the Union and they kept their slaves. Flash forward to the end of the Civil War. Slavery was still around. It was still around. Delaware, Kentucky, Juneteenth happens, and guess what? Slavery is still on the books. It wasn't until the 13th Amendment in December 1865 that officially abolished slavery. So I don't want to slam Bill Nye too much here. But I do believe the truth needs to get out there about Juneteenth. It did not end slavery. Over here on Fox News, Juneteenth, Bill Nye, science guy, schooled after posting about America's founding and slavery. Nye claimed in a tweet that slaves were officially freed on June 19th, 1865, or Juneteenth. Now, I'm a black person, guys. I've never celebrated Juneteenth a day in my life. And yesterday is Father's Day. Guess what? I was actually texting with my friends, my family. We were all saying Happy Father's Day. Not one text message I actually got was saying, hey, Happy Juneteenth. Want to know why? We never celebrated it. It was never a thing. Now, of course, there's been some people that do. That's fine. But I suggest that you highly educate yourself to know that it did not end slavery. It didn't. But let's read some of this, guys. Bill Nye, the science guy, caused a stir on social media when he posted about America's founding and slavery. And this is the tweet that he put out right here. This is the science guy, supposed to be smart. He tweeted this out. The United States we know today was built with the labor of enslaved Black Americans. The last were not freed officially until 19 June 1865. Let us celebrate and never forget. This man is wrong. He's wrong. Like I said, I don't want to come hard on him, because we know this is the information that's getting out there. First it was the Emancipation Proclamation that ended slavery. Then now they want to say it's Juneteenth. Not the case. The 13th Amendment, December 1865, ended slavery. Officially on the books. You can see here, this reply says this is not accurate. And it's not. Another one here. This is not true. Juneteenth doesn't commemorate the 13th Amendment. It commemorates news of the Emancipation Proclamation reaching Texas. 2 Union states had slavery until December 1865, and that would be Kentucky in Beijing Biden's home state of Delaware, they had slavery all the way up until December 1865 with the 13th Amendment. I'm doing this to educate people. It says, too bad Bill Nye was wrong. The last enslaved people weren't freed until the 13th Amendment was ratified in December 1865. The Emancipation Proclamation didn't cover Kentucky, along with Delaware, Maryland, West Virginia, and Missouri. Read a history book, Bill. Yes, but they don't teach you this stuff in school. When I was in school, folks, we were just told that Emancipation Proclamation ended slavery. That's a lot. That's a lot. I wish that government education would actually get the facts right. It did not. And now going forward, Juneteenth, that whole lie is going to be out there too. And last year, like I said, they made Juneteenth an official holiday. Why don't they actually make the 13th Amendment a holiday? That would have been the best thing to do. It says, actually, the final slaves weren't freed in Kentucky and Delaware, Joe Biden's home state, until 13th Amendment was ratified on December 6, 1865. Now, to you uneducated people also, I'm going to tell you this. Guess who else owned slaves? That'd be Native Americans. And guess what, guys? Native Americans, they were not fans of getting rid of their slaves. And actually, folks, even after the 13th Amendment, they did not give up their slaves, their black slaves. They kept them. They kept them. Now, this is definitely something that that the government doesn't want to tell you, especially Democrats. Native Americans. They always want to paint the Native Americans as victims. They own slaves. Check this out. Slavery in Indian Territory, 1869. Before the Civil War, the Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creek, and Seminole tribes held approximately 10,000 people of African descent in bondage. Because those slaves belonged to Native Americans and not American citizens, the 13th Amendment did not free them. The Cherokee National Government voluntarily freed its slaves in 1863. The United States negotiated a treaty with the other four tribes in 1866. This is after the 13th Amendment, stipulating that they must release their slaves and grant them full rights as citizens. If they failed to comply with those terms, they would forfeit payment for lands ceded to the United States by the same treaty. Few of the slaves freed by Native American tribes were ever accepted as citizens of their tribes. See, this is something that I only learned about a year ago. Like I said, I'm not an expert on anything, but Native Americans had slaves too. And guys, I highly recommend that you guys go and check out Thomas Sowell, his videos. He dropped the truth about slavery, not just here in the United States. As an institution, it was a worldwide thing, folks. Whites were enslaving white people. The Chinese were enslaving Chinese. Africans, Native Americans were enslaving Native Americans. Yeah. These are the things, man, that aren't being taught. They only want you to believe that the white man was enslaving black people. Not the case. Not the case. Now they want you to believe that slaves were freed with Juneteenth. I've never celebrated Juneteenth. If you want to celebrate it, hey, that's fine. But I know the truth. I know that June 19th, 1865 did not free the slaves. It did not. But go ahead and celebrate it, man. If you want to believe the misinformation out there. But Bill Nye, he was wrong about this, and I'm glad that people called him out on it. Maybe he got educated. Maybe he got educated because I believe, that they made Juneteenth a national holiday more as a virtue signal when it really did not free the slaves. It didn't. why don't we actually have the 13th Amendment on December 1865? Why don't we make that actual date a national holiday? Because that really did officially end slavery in this country. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Black and White Network supporters, make sure you check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. Link in the description. Use promo code USA First, all one word. USA First, all one word. 25% off now.